So I wanted to talk about darkness. You know, in today's world, today's society, it is now common in quotes knowledge to face your own shadow self, right? We talk about shadow work, and I think it's a term that is loosely used or vaguely. Very few rare people actually know the true meaning of it, because it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. In this new age of healing, spirituality, even the ancient knowledge from my ancestors here in America, Toltecayotl, and all of these things are coming back, like our ancestors said and knew they would. For the most part, people mistake, chakras, yoga, sacred medicine, healing, spirituality, aura, all these energy frequencies, love. They mistake this with just pure love and peace, and it's all rainbows and sunshine and butterflies, and it's all good, and it's all like, oh yeah, I won't judge you, and everything is phenomenal, everything is great. When the reality is not always like that. There is, in the part of healing, there is a part where if you are afraid of certain demons that you're carrying, and we call it demons to make it as an example. It's not necessarily a demon, right? An entity, whatever it is that that is holding you back, that is within you. Your worst fears, your nightmares, all of these things that you wanna get rid of because they're holding you back. All of that, in order to create a whole person, not someone who is fragmented, which is what we see with the majority of people, because part of them gets lost in experiences as they keep growing, as they evolve, as in their life, in their experience of life, in their reality, in their own universe. So you can maybe have a traumatic experience in your life, something that created a huge trauma. That is like a tiny bit of you that was left on that experience. So that means that you are fragmented. Why? Because a fragment of you, a piece of your soul or your essence or your consciousness, gets stuck in different places, in different relationships with different people. If you hate someone, or if you have resentment, that's a fragmented part of you that you're giving it to them, to the people that you hate or that you despise. So part of healing, part of the red path, is to confront that. So in order to let go of nightmares, in order to let go of traumas, in order to let go of demons, again, I use the word as an example, you must face them. You must get to know them first. You must know what you're dealing with. We can even talk about a disease. You can never treat a disease unless you study the disease itself. If you study the germ, the virus itself, if you study it and you know what it's made of, where it was made, and that's how medicine gets created. That's how you treat something, right? Well, imagine that your soul, or the soul of someone, has a disease, and that's the vast majority, the collective consciousness of the world, meaning the vast majority of the people, of humans in this world right now, they're dealing with a disease of the soul, of the consciousness, of the heart, and that's why we see a lot of division, a lot of bullshit, a lot of me versus you, a lot of ego, and all these things, which is changing. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because it's changing, it's transforming. The collective consciousness is transforming. Now people are more open to hear of these things, or to experience holistic ancient medicine and treatments, that people call it alternative, which the alternative medicine is actually the Western medicine, all that bullshit. The point is, you want to cure yourself of a disease, you have to get to know that disease first. And that's why shadow work is very, very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have a mentor or a guide. And it's very powerful and very hard to do. And it's a process. It's not something that you do because you went to some place and you drank ayahuasca and now you know about shadow work. God damn, it's a whole process. It's a whole process of reconnecting with yourself. And all those fragments, all those pieces of the puzzle that makes you who you are, so unique. It requires a lot of work, a lot of strength, a lot of will to go out there and face those demons and not crumble before them, and know how to deal with them. Know how to, sometimes you have to fight them, sometimes you have to love them, sometimes you have to embrace them, sometimes you have to, make them a part of you. So it's very hard. It's very fucking hard. Think about whatever it is that you fear the most. Fear makes you stagnant. Fear makes you, freeze, and then you don't act, you don't do anything. You don't feel, you don't think right, you don't feel right. You are paralyzed. Now that fear, through a period of time, becomes something else, something worse, like a cancer, if that makes sense. And it spreads not only in your own body, in your own system, but it gets spread to those around you. So we must stop that. And in order for you to stop that, you must face it. The work needs to be done. It's a lot of action. And when you see it, you must be able to recognize it, to recognize that fragment of you in that demon or in that person, in that toxic relationship, in that toxic place, in that scary situation, in that bullshit place that you find yourself in right now, or the people around you, or the job, or whoever you hate right now. A fragment of you, it's embedded in that, in each situation. So once you learn how to recognize a part of you in that, the work begins. And then confront it. Confrontation is a key word, and people misunderstand it as if it is something negative, as it is something that you should avoid, something that needs to be avoided. And no, on the contrary, the more you avoid it, the more you neglect that, the more you neglect a part of your own soul, and you feel like a machine, dead, but alive, like a zombie. So confrontation is key. But confrontation in a positive way. It doesn't have to be something negative. You don't have to punch someone in the face because you confront them. You don't have to punch yourself in the face because you confront yourself. Confrontation means, okay, there's a goddamn fucking pink elephant in the room. Let's acknowledge it. And let's do something about it. Let's take it outside. Let's feed it. Let's pet it. Let's do something about it. Right? Cannot avoid it. Otherwise, it'll rotten you from the inside. Okay? Hope you get this message. Be the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening, and until the next one. On Meteotl.